Brendan Mitchell, Manager of Global Performance at Hyperice. I work with all of the Division I schools in the country, working with athletic trainers and strength and conditioning coaches and getting training rooms as well as individual teams set up with our suite of recovery products. Normatec is a pneumatic compression device that uses air to massage the legs and mimic the body's natural cycle of how it flushes out fluid to speed up athletes' recovery process. I work closely with Paul, the head athletic trainer for the football program. About 3 years ago, he approached me at a conference we were at and said, hey, we're building this brand new state-of-the-art locker room and we want to put a Normatec in every locker.
How that started was in the design phase. We were looking at different ways to get recovery for the athletes. We figured why not make it their own personal recovery space as well. Nobody else in the country has done anything like this, and we thought it would be something very unique for our program and for our guys. The schedules that these guys keep between meetings, their lifting, their practice sessions, their tutoring, it all kind of builds up their time. So taking these little moments of time for recovery to get ready for what the next day's load is going to bring is huge, and it definitely ties in a lot to the performance of the team.
Back how Normatec started was in the late 90s. Our founder, Dr. Laura Jacobs, was a MD, PhD bioengineer who was working with patients with lymphedema and breast cancer and other types of issues that were causing limbs to be really swollen. And she just found that all of the sequential pumps on the market back in the late 90s really weren't getting the job done for her. She went out and did a bunch of independent research and patented Normatec method of segmenting the leg into zones and doing each zone one at a time and gradually holding and releasing the zones versus the old school sequential way of squeezing your entire limb at once. In the mid-2000s, her son Gilad became the CEO of Normatec, said, look, we own this patented technology. It works just as effectively on athletes as it does with people with diseases, and said, okay, let's take this and create a sports model. And so he did that and started kind of just going door to door, and University of Florida was the first one that he went to.
Well, the first time I saw it, it was in this, it looked like an old makeup case that women used to use 50 years ago. It had the attachments and the hoses. It looked like space boots. When I first brought it into the training room, that's what they actually called them, space boots. Looked kind of crazy, to be honest with you, but I felt really comfortable that we could use that in athletics.
They took it and said, great, cool, we'll try it. We'll let you know if we like it. We'll call you, don't call us. And they called him 2 weeks later and said, we love it.
It took off as soon as I got it in. I started using it in the training room, and guys really liked it. I used it all the time, kind of around the clock, and I got great results. Men's basketball was the first team, and I remember very vividly Al Horford was the first guy that I hooked it up to. He had an ankle sprain. The funny part of it was we got the ankle better, but he kept asking for it because he felt like it made his legs feel better, and everybody just kind of jumped on the bandwagon. Got great results. We actually won the national championship that year, and I remember countless phone calls to athletic trainers around the country that you have to give this thing a try.
And that's kind of how the company started to grow and just gradually snowballed over time with everyone else. But Florida is really where we hold our roots, and it definitely holds a special place in our heart.
For me, it's whatever I can do to help our players to improve, and that's how I was looking at it. But I'll never forget that, as I mentioned, we had that first meeting over there in the basement, and I thought, boy, this could be something really, really good, and it's turned out that way.